I wanted to talk to you. There are some new studies out, and you know that really excites me when I get a number of new studies all saying the very same thing. And so I have two different things to talk to you about right now. One of them is our longevity, and that's just the very piece because, like I say, to me, it doesn't matter how long we live, it's how well we live, how healthy we live. And so that's what I want to talk to you about. And what I would like to ask you, here's another question. What would you do if you had your whole life in front of you? And I want you to think about that. You do have your whole life in front of you because really what old age is just we have less sand in our hourglass. That's all it is. We have our whole life in front of us. So yes, would some of these things been better if we would have started them when we were 40? Of course. We didn't. Here's where we are. So we start today. And the new research I got is so exciting. I've been waiting for a long time. I'm on all these different newsletters from Harvard and Mayo's and the Cleveland Clinic. And this week, a study that they were watching about longevity for quite a long time has come out. And what it says is that our longevity is different than they thought. So I might have said last week when I made this that our lifestyle is 75% and our heredity is 25%. Yeah, that's not what these new studies are telling us. They're telling us that our heredity is about 50%. But before you start to think about, oh my goodness, my people didn't live that long, I want you to know the rest of the study. How they did this is the big part comes out of Sweden, where they studied twins. And then they expanded it to the United States, Denmark, and so it was more Caucasian people that they were studying on this. But the big thing is that it is if your family lived to 70, that's where they started with this. Every time that your person lived past 70, for every decade they live past 70, you get another decade for your expectancy. But for women, we almost follow completely our maternal line, our DNA from our maternal line, and for men it is more both lines, but more from their paternal. But for us, it's more maternal. Now, if they taught you to expect and take care of your body, then it goes over two different lines. So the new way of looking at aging is young old is 65 to 74, middle old is 75 to 84, and old is older than 85. And it depends a lot on how you're taking care of yourself again. So you can discover a lifelong desire that you want to explore. And guess what? That's going to increase your life because it is interest and learning is a big piece of our life expectancy. So this is what I want to tell you first, and this is just some little bit of things that I want you to know, but then we are going to get into exactly how to do this and the research that they're coming out with. So there's a part of medicine now called PNI, psychoneuroimmunology, and this is what we think changes our physical health. Epigenetics, we can affect our genes, our actual genes, our DNA, by our environment. So if you don't feel like you're getting a big golden ticket from heredity, and that's all it is a golden ticket, it's just one more piece to it, but you still have to do the work. Then you can do epigenetics to affect your genes, your DNA, by changing your environment, where how that your DNA, what it's in, your thoughts, your the toxins, all of those things. What is the common knowledge among the new research right now? And now this is kind of mind blowing. 70% of the normal aging declines are within our control. I want you to listen to that really clearly. 70% of the normal aging declines are within our control. So we can't outsource our health anymore. It's not our, we always think that the doctors, the pill you're going to take or something like that is going to fix everything. No, we've got to take control again. This is a 10-year study that 70% of our normal aging declines are within our control. Now, this is part of this 10-year study. Do you know what the third cause of death is in the United States? First is heart disease. Second is cancer. And third is adverse effects of medication. 94% of adverse drug reactions are not even reported. That's what doctors are saying. Now, this can be that you're taking the wrong drug, interaction between drugs, and errors in hospitals. But the third cause of death in this country is because of medication. I'm not saying you shouldn't take your medication. I'm just saying that when you see medication on TV and it says, don't think you need more, there's so many different things that you can do. And we're going to talk about that. Everything used to be everything is matter, and now everything is energy. So because we moved past this Newtonian idea of science. So our body must always interpret the environment to stay alive. Now, matter causes a chemical reaction. We used to say with hypnosis, every thought creates a chemical reaction. Every thought you think sends neurotransmitters through your body. Now we know that it also causes an energetic reaction, and energy is 100 times more effective, faster, more efficient, not effective, efficient than chemicals. Now, this all affects our inflammation, which is good and bad. Good, it heals, it fights infections. Bad, it becomes chronic. And, then we're moving into the autoimmune diseases, with all sorts of chronic diseases. The immune system is always relating to a lot of different diseases. And although there is an Alzheimer's that is part of a autoimmune, most of them are not. But depression is, cancer is, heart disease is, and diabetes is. All of those are considered autoimmune. And autoimmune is because of a lot of inflammation. Alzheimer's is also inflammation of the brain. Now, if you physically feel fatigue, joint, muscle pain, gastritis issues, those are all inflammation. Mental health is brain fog, memory issues, depression, anxiety, lack of motivation. So you want to kind of work on that because it affects your liver, your kidneys, increases your blood sugar. So we want to fight that a little bit, and I've got some ideas here for you. First, causes of inflammation: being overweight, stress and anxiety. That's a huge one. Pollution, overeating, red meats and sugar, a lack of sleep, because when we sleep, that's when our body repairs itself. Um, Food allergies and sensitivities, hormone imbalances, chemicals, whether you put them on your skin, whether it's on your food, chemicals cause inflammation. Alcohol, our skin, our lotion, the fibers we put on it, things like that. Um, so we want to get that. That's all makes you feel out of balance. So we want to move past that. Now, there is a new. This isn't new, but it's something that I just read about because it is a study that from UCLA, and it's published in the Journal of Alzheimer's. It's a 12-week program, and you do this daily, and you increase blood flow in the brain, your memory, your focus, and your executive function. And it repaired the DNA, increased the telomeres, an enzyme that we need to. It's part of our longevity thing, by 43%. This is the largest increase that they have recorded. It slows cellular aging. We've created more blood flow, more neural connections. Now, it is a very old thing that we're doing, but what we're finding is that the caregivers from that are working with people with Alzheimer's, there's 50% of them that have a depression. So you can understand that. You can understand how that is. So I wanted you to hear this one other part because it is the results of this so that you can see. They did two groups. The first group used this meditation. The second group all used regular stress management, like sitting quietly, listening to music and things like that. Group one is using this. It's kind of a chanting, let's say, a meditation. And depression improved 50%, where group two, it was 31%. Mental health, 50%. Over group two, 19%. Cognitive function, significant. They can't say exactly how much. It's significant because they didn't know, you don't know unless you put people in cages, you don't know exactly what else they're doing. The telomeres, group one, 43%, group two, 4%. So what is this miraculous thing? It's the Kirtan Kaira, and I think I'm saying that wrong. You only have to do it 12 minutes a day. It's a mantra. And if you were in my hypnosis class, my yoga class, we've already talked about this. It's sa, ta, na, ma. And what it stands for is birth, life, death, rebirth. You push on your fingers because that stimulates meridians. And you chant this first in a normal voice, sa, ta, na, ma. Then you whisper it, sa, ta, na, ma. Then it's silent, sa, na, ma. Then you say it again, sa, ta, na, ma. While you do this, you take a deep breath and you visualize a light coming in at the top of your head and going out your third eye right here. And you do that over and over. I have found that it works really well if you wake up at night and you're having more trouble going back to sleep. So it's sa, ta, na, ma. Sa, ta, na, ma. If you get bored, do it backwards. Ma, na, ta, sa. You can do it backwards, but then take a deep breath, stretch over your head, and shake your arms, because that moves the energy in your body. The numbers you cannot deny. Satanama. Please give it a chance. Give it a try. Only 12 minutes a day, and there's a 50% improvement. See if it works for you. Now, somebody asked me to say more about BDNF, the protein that's produced inside of nerve cells. It's like Miracle-Gro for the brain. That's what it is. BDNF, Miracle-Gro for the brain. For the function, for new neurons. But it's declining because of our environment. It's medications, our thyroids, menopause, being sick. If you had been sick with herpes, a cold sore, a lot of different past infections, Wi-Fi. I hope you don't, but if you keep your cell phone by your bed, smoking, alcohol, more than one wine a week, water quality, air pollution, a mold. There's a direct movement between depression, Alzheimer's, and mold. There's something called house burping. In German, it's Luften. And this is the way that I learned about it, is my grandma used to always do it. When she would be making her bed, she'd open her windows. It didn't matter what the temperature was outside. She'd open her windows while she was making her bed. And they call it house burping because there's a chance to change the air. In my house, I have an old house, and air gets changed very easy because it's not tight. Many houses are very, very tight as far as not air just blowing through them. And we get stagnant air. So open those windows. This is part of what, yes, even though there's not a lot of air pollution, I don't have a lot of semis going by, or big amounts of pollution of anything else, but it's still in my house. Normal air, it needs to be exchanged. So this is how you increase this wonderful growth hormone for our brain. Jump up and down 10 times. That does it. Learn something new. That does it. Unbelievable. Dark chocolate. You want a big cognitive reserve. They know that people that are interested in a lot of different things, people that are studying things, people that are doing music, that are doing a class, it's not just like a educational class. It can be painting. It can be Tai Chi, Qigong, exercise, whatever. These things increase it. Sleep, because our brain grows when we sleep. We have 1.5 to 2 hour sleep cycles, and you would like to have 3 of those sleep cycles, so at least 6 hours. Do you know that only 1 in 5 Americans get more than 5 hours sleep? And we wonder why there's problems? Being social, your nutrition, what you eat, and your actions, exercise, things like that. And so the more that we do that, the better. Now, there's a doctor. His name is Dr. Futuhi. He has come up with a new book that will be out in March, and so I'm sure I'll be telling you more about it. It's called The Invincible Brain. And he has done a 12-week program for people that have mild cognitive impairment, and it improved their memory, and everything changed for them in 12 weeks. He says there's 5 pillars. There's exercise, there's And anybody, the fitter you are, the larger your hippocampus and the lower your risk for Alzheimer's. Sleep, that's when our brain cleanses itself and gets rid of that brain waste. Nutrition, when you get rid of highly processed food, because it has a higher glycemic index, and that increases inflammation, and the inflammation reduces the blood flow to the brain. Stress reduction, because stress chips away at the hippocampus where your memories are. Brain training, because your brain is a muscle, and the more you use it, it grows. Just like your arms when you do that. Now, he comes up with a lot of different things. Exercise is his number one, of course, so that is stay active. Anything from 3 to 5 steps a day, 10 minutes of exercise, you see a measurable difference in the brain when he does brain scans. So exercise is really an important thing. We're going to go through all the different things along the way, the brain training and all of that. But one thing that he says that he really works with and has seen in this 12-week span where they took brain imaging of everybody in the 12-week program, there was a noticeable difference in 3 to 6 months. You breathe in, you have to do this 10 minutes a day. The other one was I think 12 minutes or something like that. So either one of these. The one thing I will tell you, the other one will put you to sleep. This one I did last night, during the night, and when I went to bed, and I had trouble sleeping. It was like my mind was much more alert. So I am going to do it. I have a little meditation time, 20 minutes, about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm going to do it there, because when we breathe, we get oxygen to our brain, which we need, and none of us breathe quite right. We all tend to breathe a little shallow. This is, you breathe in to 6, you hold your breath for 3, you breathe out to 6. That's all it is. Breathe in to 6, hold for 3, breathe out to 6. You do that 10 minutes a day. And he noticed the difference because it increases your whole idea of getting the oxygen to your brain. Your brain needs oxygen. Your brain needs fats. Your brain needs water. Those are the things we can do for our brain. So we're going to start working on mindfulness, because this is something that we can really use, and it's in all of these different brain studies, because it is a stress management technique. So people that use mindfulness more are higher resilient to stress. And so we're going to start working with that, and that'll be the next ones when we work with that. But I was so excited to tell you all of these new things about these 12-week classes that I've actually, you can see the difference in brain scans in 12 weeks and 3 months. That's it. And so we can do this, and maybe we are the ones that can change the normal aging. 70%. Remember that the normal aging declines are within our control. We have that magical brain, neuroplasticity. We can change our whole brain, and our brain affects our whole body. So that's my talk to you today, the things I wanted to share. And please let me know in the comments. Please let me know if you're enjoying this. And, we can invite other people. I want to share what I'm learning, because I think it's just so exciting, because we have much more control than we thought. So thank you so very much.